Meine Damen und Herren, zurück bei Fast Forward und hier sitzt jetzt Rhys bei mir von den Super Furry Animals. Da ist er. Und yeah, I would like to talk about the new super brilliant album. There are lots of moods, sort of different moods, a great variety of moods on the album. Is that something that you plan to do while you're writing the songs, or is it more, let's say, sort of different aspects of the band members' personalities on the album?
It's a bit of the, you know, there's 5 in the band and everyone's very different. We get on really well, but we're all pulling in all kinds of different directions. But I think also life is like that, you know, you're never in, everyone's has mood swings, you know, and sometimes you're very down, sometimes you're very happy, and I'm always suspicious of bands who just have one mood, because they must be incredibly boring and passionate people, you know. Yeah. And you know, I think it's a reflection of our lives, really.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot of contradictions in the album. You get something like Juxtaposed With You, which is how we feel when very lived up and very happy, and when you feel like that, I think it's worth capturing it in a song, yeah. Even though it might be really slick and poppy. You know, sometimes we feel like that and we just want to dance, you know, and sometimes we're very miserable and pissed off in the morning with a bad hangover, and at which point we'd write something like No Sympathy. And I think life is about extremes. It's never on one level, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And there is sort of, when I listen to the album, it sounds to me like a very ambitious work. Sort of, was there some point in the process of making the album where you sort of thought, oh my goodness, what have we done? This is getting out of hand or something.
It did seem like an eternity at times, but our last album was done in 2 weeks. We recorded and mixed it in 2 weeks, and it was very simple. We had 10 songs. And, you know, we thought it was really good. So it was important that this album had to be really different. So it took about 14 months to make it, and 9 weeks of which was recording. Then we did another month of mixing, and then we mixed it in surround sound, because you go to cinemas and the sound's always incredible, and we wanted to make a cinematic sounding album. And cinema's always led the way with sound, and in the 60s, you know, stereo was invented by the cinema, yeah. And then music followed. And it's probably the same now, you know, cinemas use 5.1 technology, and we wanted to make a huge widescreen cinematic album in surround sound, yeah. You know, to compete with that on that level. And we've shown it in a few cinemas, and that's the best way to see it, really. But we've put it on DVD now. So on the DVD, we commissioned 16 remixes, and there's 18 songs and 18 films, and we wrote 30 pieces of ambient music for the interface, and it's all connected by wormholes, and we've got galleries in there as well, and it's a huge sprawling thing. You can spend weeks going round, and so we're really pleased with it, you know.
And sort of Rings Around the World is also the first CD that is sort of simultaneously released together with a DVD. And how did that idea come up? Was that a plan right from the beginning, or?
No, it's something that's evolved. We've been playing live shows in surround sound for 3 or 4 years. Because when you go to a club, a good club, there's usually a surround sound system. Yeah. It's never just 2 speakers in the front. And we've grown up seeing bands like Tackhead and African Head Charge and Orbital, who've always played with surround systems. And the technology was in place now for us to commit that to disc. So I don't think anyone suddenly got an idea. It was something that evolved. Yeah. And we were making a DVD, and we thought, we can put film on this as well, and it was a never-ending sort of project, you know.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think the most important thing for us was the songs, and so we did the stereo vision as well, because we didn't want it to be like an elitist project that nobody would ever hear. So
that would be like a sort of this Flaming Lips project. You remember when they had 4 CDs? Sort of, who has 4 CD players? That is a bit sort of elite thing, isn't it?
I suppose, and I like that communal idea that the people come together with their CD players, though. And equally, people can find someone's house who've got a home theatre system, and they can go around and pester them to watch the DVD.
It's like in the old days when only one person in the neighbourhood had a television, so everybody had to go over and watch the news and stuff.
I know, and there's also people have grown up playing, you know, video games as well as listening to music, and it's an album that can be played. It's an interactive album you can put in a PlayStation 2 and interact with, and so it's a different medium, and it's just, we like to try things out with every album. And I mean, some of my favourite albums are albums that I mean, Palace have done albums in 5 hours, and they sound brilliant just because they're immediate and raw, and it gets the message across, and that's just as valid as an album that's taken 14 months to make, you know. It's just different, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We just have to make a little break, and then we'll be back in a few seconds.